Hello there guys and welcome back to this major Bully 2 video. Let's jump straight into today's topic. We actually got a confirmation that Bully 2 is real. Today we will be taking a look at this major Game Informer article that just came out. This was posted on Twitter. In the late 2000s, Rockstar New England began working on Bully 2. The team thought it would be the next big Rockstar game. It never came out. We talked to numerous former developers to find out what happened. This is the Bully 2 you will never play. The title of this article is the version of Bully 2 you will never get to play. I will read out this first part as it is really important. For a while in the late 2000s, developers at Rockstar New England thought they were working on the next big Rockstar game. They were excited to push the company's tech and to bring a cult hit into Rockstar's vision for the future. They were excited for the chance to prove themselves as a Rockstar studio, having recently been purchased by the company. They were excited to lead development on Bully 2, the sequel to Rockstar's critically acclaimed open-world adventure about life in a private school. But things don't always go as planned, and other obligations on a release schedule get in the way of passion projects. Rockstar New England's Bully 2 was shelved in favor of other, more troubled projects in development, like Max Payne 3 and Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar New England wanted to be sort of the golden child in the Rockstar thing, but it's really hard when Rockstar North was the one that was producing all the golden eggs at that time, one developer says. Living in the shadows of someone who casts a big shadow like Rockstar North, and trying to usurp that role, it's really difficult and nearly impossible. But man, did they try. Oh, did they try. This is huge news for all Bully fans. Rockstar New England was working on Bully 2. So in the next part of this article, Game Informer goes to explain the origin of Rockstar's name and their studios. Then they introduce us to the developer Mad Doc Software. Take a look. Mad Doc Software, founded in Andover, Massachusetts, in 1999 by former Activision technical director Ian Lane Davis, was another Rockstar acquisition. Davis holds a doctorate in artificial intelligence and robotics from Carnegie Mellon University. According to former developers Game Informer spoke to, as well as an archived version of Mad Doc's website, AI was a core pillar of the studio's pedigree. The website claimed that the studio's team, composed of developers who previously worked on franchises like Civilization, System Shock, and Thief, had an unmatched expertise in the field. For its first decade, Mad Doc operated on a work-for-hire basis, taking projects for publishers such as Activision, Sierra Entertainment, Disney Interactive, and Vivendi Games. Prior to its purchase by Rockstar, Mad Doc mostly developed PC strategy games, such as the Star Trek, Armada and Empire Earth series. Let me summarize the next part for you. Mad Doc was then acquired by Rockstar. They worked on the development of Bully Scholarship Edition, which is the remaster of Bully with new missions, characters and items. They led the development for the Xbox 360 and PC versions released in March and October of 2008. In April 2008, Rockstar announced it had acquired Mad Doc and renamed the studio Rockstar New England. Sam Houser said that Mad Doc would enhance Rockstar's core technology and further support its commitment to creating progressive and innovative gaming experiences. Rockstar New England said that they are eager to bring their expertise to bear in the character-driven, open-world stories that make Rockstar Games titles so uniquely compelling. So Rockstar New England was the developer behind Bully 2. They were actually really excited to work with one of the biggest, if not the biggest developer, in the gaming industry. And the studio actually assisted in the development of other Rockstar game styles such as Grand Theft Auto 4's two-story expansions, that, of course, being the two DLCs The Ballad of Gay Tony and The Last and Damned. They also worked on Red Dead Redemption. And they were given the opportunity to work on their own game, a sequel to Bully. This was their chance to prove themselves. I am beyond excited. After that, Game Informer actually addressed Rockstar's lack of games after the release of the money maker that is GTA 5. Of course, to this day Rockstar still supports GTA 5's online mode and makes massive profits from microtransactions. Let's get back to Bully 2. Take a look at this part of the article. Rockstar New England's plan for Bully 2 was in line with this vision, according to developers on the project. It was a chance to let the Bully series sit alongside Rockstar games of the time, such as Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption. It was a chance, as one former developer recalls, to shoot for the moon because even if we don't quite make it, we're already much further than if we had aimed a little bit lower. There was a lot of focus on character, very deep systems, seeing how far we could push that, and putting it up there alongside a GTA, one developer on the project says. I think that they wanted to bring that kind of world to the Bully universe, another says. For developers at Rockstar New England, this meant making the world of Bully 2 bigger and deeper than that of the original game, and putting a considerable amount of resources into its creation. While Game Informer wasn't able to get an exact number of people working on the project, 3 people say almost the entire studio worked on Bully 2 at some point, with overall headcount estimations being around 50 to 70 people. So Rockstar New England really wanted to make Bully 2 their game. They wanted to make Bully a Grand Theft Auto level experience. At one point, I think it was everybody, one former developer says. The studio itself, that was going to be their game. 3 different developers told us that the game's open world map wouldn't have been as big as that of, say, Grand Theft Auto 4, but their estimates on its planned scope describe it as ranging from the size of Grand Theft Auto, Vice City's open world to 3 times the size of the original Bully school map. What it would have lacked in overall size it would have made up for with depth. For example, Rockstar New England planned to make every building in the game enterable, either by normal means or by forced entry. If you could see it, you could go into it, one former developer on the project says. The player was not going to be driving a car anywhere, so the total playable space and land size was definitely going to be smaller, another developer says. Mostly because kids, he's not going to be driving, and also because we wanted these very deep systems. Like, if you can go into every building, that's a lot of work. We'd rather not have a really massive world, maybe scale that back a little bit just so that we can make sure that we have all these meaningful things in there. Bolstered by Rockstar New England's pedigree in artificial intelligence, the studio was experimenting with ways to make the player's actions more meaningful than in previous Rockstar games. Take, for example, the honor system in the first Red Dead Redemption. If protagonist John Marston helps a non-player character, his honor rating rises. But if the player directs Marston to commit crimes, then Marston's honor falls. While this affects how NPCs react to Marston out in the world, specific NPCs don't remember his individual actions. To sum up, Rockstar New England wanted to make the map 3 times bigger than your original Bully map. They weren't planning on adding cars, and they wanted to stick to the roots. They actually want to make the world smaller, so that they can give us more interiors to explore and more opportunities for the player to feel immersed. They specialize in AI, and they wanted to make the most of it by introducing a deeper interaction with PCs, and a new system just like the honor system in Red Dead Redemption. They said, "We really wanted to make sure that people remembered what you did, so if you pulled a prank on your neighbor they would remember it. And that your actions have more meaning beyond a 20-foot radius, and the 5-second memories of the NPCs near you." This sounds incredible. This is exactly the level of quality you would expect from Rockstar. Parts of the system were actually used in Red Dead Redemption 2. Imagine a Bully game with the level of interaction of Red Dead Redemption 2. This is everything fans want from Bully 2, and it looks like Rockstar New England was capable of doing it. They wanted to add more depth to the world beyond the open world aspect. Take a look. Beyond the game's open world, developers describe a breadth of different interactivity options and new features. One detail recalled by two developers was a progressive grass-growing system, where grass throughout the world would grow realistically and players could see individual blades. You could go and mow the lawn, and then it would actually be lower, one former developer says. You could actually do a good job, go back and forth, and create lines on people's lawns, that kind of thing. It sounds so silly, but it was something that we were all excited about because of the technology behind it, another developer says of the grass-growing mechanic. Because Rockstar New England wanted to give players the option to break into houses, the team developed a new glass fragmentation system, new tech made for Bully 2 that hadn't been used in prior Rockstar games, though it'd find its way into later titles. If you've played Max Payne 3, and you shot some glass, instead of just the glass breaking the same way every time, we had built this whole system so that this chunk right near the impact of the first bullet would break out, and you would see a little spiderweb of glass, one developer says. Then if you shot some more of the glass, little individual chunks near where you actually shot would fall out. It made it look realistic. A grass-growing mechanic. Can you imagine the level of detail Rockstar New England was going to bring to the table? And that's not all. Rockstar New England was working on an in-depth climbing mechanic for exploring the map. Jimmy would be able to climb trees and fences and ledges on top of roofs, as well as out of his window when sneaking out. A former developer said, "Trees were obviously a big one. We wanted the player to be able to climb up the tree to hide. Why do some hijinks with all sorts of things or like paintball guns or water balloons, all that sort of stuff." They actually gave information about the inspiration behind some of the characters and references. They said, there were a lot of 80s kids on bikes movies, like Goonies. Porky's was another commonly used movie for reference. They also confirmed that the game was at least 6 to 8 hours playable. Bully 2 is real, or at least a part of it. It is somewhere out there, but we didn't get to experience it. Sadly, Rockstar switched priorities and left the Bully project unfinished. A lot of the developers from Rockstar New England actually either switched to other projects themselves or were assigned different tasks by Rockstar. What could this mean for Bully 2? Is it gone forever? They said, "We don't know if a version of Bully 2 will ever see the light of day." But a decade after development, people that worked on the project still expressed fondness for the game and their work. And they say they still hope they will get a chance to play a full release. "It was going to be really cool," one former developer says. "What we had was pretty amazing, especially given the very short amount of time that we were working on it. It certainly would have been very unique and very interesting, certainly a lot of fun. A lot of cool and interesting mechanics weren't working on that's still apparent in other games. It's still a concept in my opinion worth exploring," another says, "and I think that it would be a missed opportunity for them to let it go forever." Make sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. This was absolutely fantastic. This is probably the biggest piece of news we will ever get about Bully 2, and it is a special moment for the whole fan base. If you guys are new to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you click the subscribe button for more Bully 2 and Rockstar Games videos like this one, and also click the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you later.